Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. I love college basketball, and my favorite college basketball team is the Duke Blue Devils. Now, for some of you who are in college basketball knowledge, you know that Coach K is the coach of that team. And he's been there for about 30 years. He's had success over those 30 years. In the last 5 years, he's won 2 national championships. Not only is he a good coach, but he has good teams. I've read a couple of his books, and in those books, he indicates he not only meets with the teams, but he meets with the individuals to help coach them. We all need to be coached sometimes to improve ourselves, but sometimes as either parents, managers, supervisors, we need to coach others. And so this morning, I'd like to talk to you about coaching for change. Here's a quote by the legendary Tom Landry. He says, "A coach is someone who tells you what you don't want to hear, who has you see what you don't want to see, so you can be who you always known you could be." Life coach is a growing industry today. And so this morning I'd like to discuss with you the elements of having a coaching session, whether you're speaking to one of your children or an employee or a friend. And then I'll do a role play with Sterling to exhibit those techniques, and then we'll have some discussion at the end. This is me over here when I was a coach in high school. So that was the best picture I could find in regards to what it was like when I was a coach in high school. Yes, I had those dies. So the first thing, describe specifically, funny, it's real, Barry. Describe specifically the reason for discussion. Let the individual know when you meet with them, hopefully one-on-one, why you are calling them into the discussion. This here is Dawn Staley. Dawn Staley is the female coach at the University of South Carolina for the women's basketball team. She took a struggling program and has brought it in the last 2 to 3 years to national prominence. And so I wanted to display her too, because she's an incredible coach. The second thing you need to do with regards to coaching an individual, express your concern about the area of performance you would like improved. Let them know what's the 1 or 2 areas of concern that you have with regards to what you want that individual to improve on. Number 3, describe the impact the performance problem has on you and others. Don't just express the concern. Let them know, hey, this is impacting either the company or me as an individual or our family or our team. Let them know the impact of their lack of performance. Acknowledge and listen to the other person. Sometimes we want to get out what we feel like they need to change. But at times we need to just sit back and listen to what they have to say. Stephen Covey said, seek first to understand, then to seek first to understand, then to be understood. And so make sure you listen carefully to the other individual. Number 5, seek the person's opinions on ways to improve their performance. So don't just give out, here's 5 solutions on how to increase your performance. See what their thoughts might be so that they can have a part in the process. Number 6, discuss solutions. Number 7, come together and agree on a solution and what actions need to be taken with regards to their performance. Number 8, follow up. This is where the accountability aspect and change comes in. And the last one, praise positive results. I learned years ago after I graduated from college that you're to praise in public and correct in private. If we correct in public, we may discourage other individuals. But if we praise in public, we might encourage others to change and be successful likewise. So what I'd like to do now is invite Sterling up.
That's me.
And Sterling is a salesperson with Hewlett Packard, and I'm his supervisor. And Sterling's performance has been on the decline somewhat recently. So we're going to try to incorporate these and see if we can change that. Welcome in, Sterling.
Thank you.
Have a seat. You're going to close the door so no one will hear. Have a seat there. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well.
Good to see you. Well, thanks for coming in, Sterling. Hey, the reason I called you in today is, you've been with the company for about 2 or 3 years now, and I've seen over the last 3 or 4 months your sales has declined. And I was somewhat concerned about that because in the first couple of years, I haven't seen a decline. You've been either consistent or increasing. And as you know, we have company goals and team goals, and it's causing the other members on your team to having to lift a little bit more weight. And so I just wanted to get some thoughts from you on, do you feel like there's some issues there with regards to yourselves or anything I can help you with?
Let me see. I think that a lot of it has to do with being more of a transactional.
Okay,
Because I'm more of a relation person.
yes,
The 60 dials a day, it doesn't really work for me.
Okay.
It doesn't really work. Unfortunately, when I'm on the phone with the customer or a potential customer, a lot of times they just want to, they have a moment to just talk, to wind down or something.
right,
And to make my goal of 60 calls a day, I've got to cut them off. So
Yeah, I
I feel
understand.
that it's just not working. And I'm trying my best, but
Okay.
I don't know if maybe it would help if, and I don't know, corporate says we've got to do 60 calls a day because it just shows that we do better.
right, exactly.
But it just, I don't know why, it just doesn't seem to work for me.
Okay,
I'm trying,
okay.
but that's
So,
what's happening.
so any
'cause I'm
thoughts on
cutting
maybe
people
what you might can do to help in that, and then we can do to help change that in order to increase yourselves?
off. Probably the level in which we find out if it is actually a good customer.
Okay, good.
Because the cold calling
Yes,
is
it's
one
hard.
thing.
But he has some leads.
If we had some leads, or at least some warm leads.
Yes, exactly. That's excellent.
Because with the new Siebel stuff that we've been unloaded to,
Okay,
and we're told that these are hot leads, and I
Okay.
can tell you at least 5 of them I've called and I said, hey, is Mr. Jim there? And they'll go, he passed away 2 years
yeah,
ago.
exactly.
It's like,
Well, why don't we give you some more warm leads or even hot leads to kind of weed into cold calling leads and see if that might increase your numbers a little bit more. How does that sound to you?
That would help out a lot.
Okay.
That would help out a lot, because we do run into gatekeepers.
Great, excellent.
And that is difficult sometimes to get in.
Well, what we'll do, we'll have Karen provide you those warm leads, and let's get together maybe next week, at the end of the week, and just see how the week has gone, and maybe just on a weekly basis for the next month or two, see if there's any improvement there. How's that sound?
That sounds pretty good.
And another thing too, there's a great group called the Toastmasters you might want to go to. I think they help with cold calling, early in the morning, so it's just a thought.
There'll be some open there.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, thank you, Sterling.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. You too.
Gary.
Okay, that was a short role play. Let's open it for a couple of minutes to some discussion with regards to either the role play or some of the thoughts from the coaching session. So open it for discussion.
What happens when your person that is being coached is resistant and
Ooh.
combative?
Ooh, that's good. It's hard because some people are not teachable. They're just not teachable. Y'all have any thoughts on that when someone's resistant or combative?
You're fired.
But if it's your child,
Yeah, what do you
Buy
think?
them too.
So there's a great book out there called,
It's a great book.
well, I'm reading it right now.
Yeah.
Critical Conversations, that's not quite it. but
It's really funny that someone like you would have a memory problem.
Crucial Conversation.
Crucial Conversation.
Thank you.
Okay,
And they talk about methods to restore safety to the person who's resistant to the conversation. And so it takes practice and skill and sort of conscious thought about what you're saying and how you're saying it to make the other person feel safe in the conversation. So
That's
if you
good.
find that they're on the defensive or they're resistant to hearing what you have to say, you probably need to rethink your approach and get to the bottom of why they don't feel safe in the conversation. So I just recommend reading that book.
yeah, that's good, excellent. Any other thoughts on that, if you're a resistant person? Barry?
I would turn around and just be vulnerable yourself, and
Good.
that would make others feel at ease that they could be vulnerable.
Exactly. Excellent. Okay, did that help out a little bit?
it did. I had
Okay.
another question.
Okay.
We assume that the coaching method is from a top-down procedure. What happens when you need to coach an authority?
Ooh. So you mean like an employee connecting with a supervisor or something like that? Ooh, gentle ground. Who's been in a situation like that before? Sterling? Do you want to share?
Oh,
Oh,
I can.
yeah.
Especially in the military, we have this quite often.
Yeah.
Especially as an NCO to, we'll say a butter bar or a lieutenant that just got into the organization. Because a lot of times they'll go by the book and they don't know anything else because that's their base. We, the ones that are on the ground that are working, sometimes we have to communicate to them that, or how, that it's not working. So we have to do a coaching session for them or with them. What I found that helps is first bring them down to the level of where the action is being worked, so that they can see. But letting them, and then at the same time showing them that this is what the book says, this is actually how it works, but show them both. And then give them the opportunity to decide which way did they want to go. That always seems to help. Because a lot of, especially for people that, like West Pointers or Air Force Academy grads, because they've got this higher learning and it's very hard for them after all this education that, oh, you're just an enlisted guy, I've
Yeah,
had all this
exactly.
background, so you can't talk up to me
Yeah.
because I'm just talking down to you, that type of thing, so.
I think if you approach that person with humility, someone said earlier that, hey, let me share with you, areas I want to improve in or whatever, but approach them in a sense of, can we just have a heart-to-heart talk or a discussion, some areas that concerns me, but I want to be careful in the way I approach you because I realize you are my supervisor and my manager. And I was just wondering if I could have an open discussion with you. So I think in a sense of humility helps out a lot. So, okay, Carol?
I was just thinking about what you were saying, because I had a similar situation a while ago. I was taking lessons from a professional dancer, and we're very close friends still to this day. But I was in the advanced arena, and when he got to me, his energy level was just nil, and he didn't give me the partnership I needed. And like I say, he was really looked at as one of the top pros. Thank God they got a picture of myself and this gentleman, and he was just kind of down. And I had to go up to him and talk to him, and the way I approached it is I told him how I was feeling,
Yes.
rather than, you realize
Yeah, exactly.
that kind of thing. And he went to sleep that night and woke up the next day. He says, "Oh my God, Carol, I am so sorry. I realize what I did to you. It will not ever happen again." And you know what? It didn't.
Good.
By the time he got to he realized that he was taking on too many people,
Yeah.
and he had to cut it down. So it really worked out for the best.
Excellent. Well, my time is up. I want to show you the last slide here. So go out, coach for change, and coach for success. Toastmasters.